One of my first reviews was Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge 20 years ago. Their introduction to Rajnikant is Rajnikant jokes. I'm personally more disappointed with someone like Surya. It's not coming from a place of perversion. I remember Selva movies used to have a lot of this. Hey, எவ்வளோ வருஷமாடா இதை பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பீங்க. ரொம்ப ஓவர் பில்ட் அப் இது.
திருட்டு விசீடில் படம் பார்க்குறவனுக்கு கூட தெரியும் சுதீஷ் கமத் இஸ் வெரி சீனியர் ஃபிலிம் கிரிட்டிக் அப்படின்னு. வருஷ காலமாக வந்து ஹிந்து பேப்பரை திறந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வீக்கெண்டில் வந்து எந்த படத்தை யார் கிழிச்சிருக்கா அப்படின்ற பட்டியலில் திரு சுதீஷ் கமத் கண்டிப்பாக இருப்பார். அதுக்கான காரணம் இஸ் திஸ் this command over the language called English and the ability to put across anecdotes. ரொம்ப இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்காக ஒரு படத்தை வந்து கிழிக்க முடியும் சுதீஷ் கமத்னால. அதுக்கான காரணம் என்னென்னா அவர் ஒரு பயங்கர எக்ஸ்டென்சிவ் இன்டென்சிவ் லேர்னிங் அபவுட் சினிமா ஆஸ் அ கிராஃப்ட் அண்ட் பல வருடங்களாக சினிமாவை கன்சியூம் பண்ணி வெறும்னா வெள்ளிக்கிழமை போய் தேட்டருக்கு ரிச்சுவலாக ரிலீஜியஸாக படம் பார்க்காம படம் என்டர்டெயின்மெண்ட் தாண்டின ஒரு விஷயம் அப்படின்னு சில பேரால் தான் நம்ம உணர்ந்திருக்கோம். அதில் வந்து மிஸ்டர் சுதீஷ் கமத்தும் ஒருத்தர். சார் இந்த இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன் ஓகே நினைக்கிறேன்.
ரொம்ப ஓவர் பில்ட் அப் இது.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you. So you became a journalist or a mid-90s, sir, if I'm not wrong. You started writing
for... when I was in college, second year, I joined Metro Ads. It's a neighborhood newspaper. I joined them in the second issue. Like the first issue, their English very
inspiring.
It was like super inspiring. It was 9:30 a.m. in the morning, 2 bulldozer landed. I was like, wow, 9:30 a.m. in the morning, 2 bulldozer landed. So I knew they needed somebody who could write. So I went and asked them. That's how I started. I was with them for 100 weeks.
Wow.
So most of my journalism I learned making mistakes. I used to review films. I still can't believe that one of my first reviews was Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge 20 years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that was among the first reviews which I did.
ஒரு film appreciation என்ன, people find it hard. இப்போ reel 2ல வந்து ஒரு dip இருக்கு அப்படின்லாம் Facebook Twitterல எல்லாம் போடுறாங்க. So what is film appreciation primarily?
Film appreciation and criticism are two different things. Okay, most people when we are doing film criticism, we are paid to criticize the film, not to appreciate it. Because criticism is necessary because on the week you want to know whether I should watch it or not watch the film. So criticism usually happens when it's bad. When the film is bad, they tell you that this is bad. Appreciation usually happens when the film is good. Now you know how many good films release and how many bad films release. Most of the films that release are unfortunately bad. 80% of the films are bad. 20% of the films are good, which is why most film reviewing is film criticism.
How much of a boon it was for you to write for print? Print மூலமா உங்களோட சினிமாக்கான கருத்துக்களை பதிவு செய்யறது எவ்வளோ அட்வான்டேஜாக இருந்தது? ஏன்னா இப்போ ஒரு சேட்டலைட் ரைட்ஸ் கிடையாது, டிவி சேனல்னா அந்த படத்தை பற்றி நல்லா தான் பேசணும். இல்லை ஒரு நெட்டுனா இப்போ தான் நீங்கள் ரொம்ப நாளாக எழுதிட்டு இருக்கீங்க, இப்போ ஒரு 7-8 years தான். So how much of
See, I'll tell you the problem. The problem is when you're writing for a newspaper, if you're a critic, then ideally you should not be reviewing, you should not be interviewing the stars. You're going to watch the film on a very objective note, and usually stars prefer to give interviews to people who they're comfortable with, like journalists who they're comfortable with. So if say like a Vikram or a Surya is very comfortable giving you interviews, then when you're going to watch their movies, they're expecting at some level that, oh, I give him interviews, so he's going to be nice to me, which cannot be. I can't guarantee that all the time because I have a duty. I'm paid to give my honest opinion. I cannot compromise that opinion. If I do not like that film, I do not like that film. But I think it's very important for people who are reviewing any piece of art to get that piece of art. You know what I mean when I say get?
Yeah.
Can you go review Star Wars movies without having watched any Star Wars movies?
I cannot. Yeah.
Can you go watch Lord of the Rings without watching anything? Can you go watch a Rajnikant movie after reading only Rajnikant jokes? A lot of the critics in the north do that.
Yes.
Their introduction to Rajnikant is Rajnikant jokes and they go and review it. They don't get it, right? A lot of the millennials, you know what millennials are. Like they go watch a Karan Johar film without understanding where he's coming from. Now to review Karan Johar films, you can't just review it out of context. He's coming from a certain place. He used to make a certain kind of cinema. It's like you can't review a Clint Eastwood film like Gran Torino without having watched his older films.
Yes.
Because Gran Torino is an apology to the kind of films he had made. If you hadn't watched those films, then you've lost the most significant part of the thing, that this is Clint Eastwood saying, I am sorry for being a racist, sexist pig in my earlier kinds of films where I glorified violence and vigilantism.
Did you watch Remo by any chance?
No, I
Sure.
didn't.
Okay.
Because I've become very selective about films.
I know. So I want to discuss that issue with you. Adula வந்து என்னன்னா as usual Sivakarthikeyan aspires to become an actor, but contrarily he is also busy following a girl where he wants to get hold of her for the rest of his life. So on the stalking issue இருக்கு. இப்போ are we taking films too seriously is one thing. அதே சமயத்துல இப்போ நம்ம அன்னியன் பார்த்த உடனே எல்லாரும் என்ன ஐடி ஒழுங்கா ஃபெயில் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டோம். So how do you see this whole thing
there
about
are two things to it. Okay, one is representation, two is endorsement. Representation na காட்டுறது, இது நடக்குதுன்னு காட்டுறது. Endorsement-னா அது சப்போர்ட் பண்றது. ரைட்? ஸோ நீங்கள் படத்தில் என்ன ட்ரை பண்ணுறீங்க? நீங்கள் என்டார்ஸ் பண்ண ட்ரை பண்ணுறீங்களா, இல்லை சப்போர்ட் பண்ண ட்ரை பண்ணுறீங்களா, இல்லை சும்மா ரெப்ரசென்ட் தான் பண்ணுறீங்களா, ரியலிசம் ரெப்ரசென்ட் பண்ணுறீங்களா? அந்த டோன் இருக்குல்ல, அது டைரக்டர் கையில் தான் இருக்குது. ஸோ இஃப் யூ லுக் அட் அ ஃபிலிம் லைக் ராஞ்சனாவில் தனுஷ் வந்து சோனம் கபூரை ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறாரு. ஆனால் ராஞ்சனாவில் என்ன நடக்குது, தே ஷோ தட் ராஞ்சனாவில் தனுஷ் அண்ட் சோனம் கபூர் ரைட் ஃப்ரம் தியர் கிட்ஸ், ஃப்ரம் 5 years old, they are fond of each other. That 4-year-old boy has liked the 4-year-old girl. As they grow older, the 8-year-old boy likes the 8-year-old girl. As they grow older, a 16-year-old boy likes a 16-year-old girl. The parva இருக்குல்ல, it is innocent. It is coming from a place of innocence. It's not coming from a place of perversion. Adhe, if you look at a different kind of a film, like which is coming from a misogynistic perspective, where the hero is saying adravla, kolravla or whatever, like, you know, and the other things which he says about, it's coming from a sense of being jilted. So when you're saying a hero is like this, a hero has a right to follow a girl, hero has a right to do this, then it is a duty of a critic to say, "Dey, evlo varshumada idha panniterpinga." I remember Selva movies used to have a lot of this. But do you see his new films? They all changed completely. Because somewhere there's maturity as a filmmaker. I was the same guy who criticized Selva for a certain kind of films. Like for example, when he made Pudupetta and when he said Variya, the song became so, it was being sung in buses and like it was used for harassment and stuff like that. And as a filmmaker, are you going to be happy if your sister or your friend got groped by some guy who said Variya or something like that? Are you going to be happy? It's a song which you have it's coming in your movie, you're like celebrating, super andad mama. Would you say that? You won't say that, right? So that is where the gaze or the look of how you're treating your subjects comes into play. He started off from this place of glorifying the stalker and has come to a place of accepting his responsibility and matured as a filmmaker. How many filmmakers can we say like that? If you look at Gautam Menon films, his heroines have a character. They have names, they have real occupations, they have real concerns, they're strong-minded enough to say yes or no to a hero.
Yes.
How many movies can say that the heroines can say yes or no to a hero? Most of the time the heroine has to say yes to the hero because he has been stalking her long enough. So during Remo, I did not watch the film, but I saw that when people were calling out this, there were a whole lot of people saying, this has been happening for years, this is nothing new, so why are people outraging suddenly? It's like, hello, so is that's okay, a rape's been happening for years, so it's okay, is it? Let it continue happening. Be glad that finally we are talking about this. We need to talk about this. If we don't talk about this, do you think this guy will, next time when he goes out to make a movie, won't he think?
What's like the best joke you read out of censorship? Tamil cinema adula censorship ன்றது அது ஒரு நல்ல ஹியூமர் இருக்கிற ஒரு ஏரியா. Some best joke that you read out of censorship பத்தி, this joke was really nice.
நான் வந்து ஒரு 10 வருஷம் முன்னாடி ஒரு படம் பண்ணேன், that 4-letter word ஒரு படம் பண்ணேன். So I went to the censors, they all watched the movie, very nice set of people. படம் முடிச்சுட்டு they came, fuck, balls, asshole, shit, cock. He continued talking, he rattled out another 15 swear words. இதெல்லாம் நாங்கள் அலோவ் பண்ணுறதில்ல. So he said it, but he said it with so much passion and so much this one that I was like really amused. But he said, but we don't want to affect the natural flow of the film, so you mute whatever you want. I'll call it voluntary cuts, and they give us the film with UA. So it's might seem very cool to bash the censors for this one, but actually they are at the end of the day humans, you know, they're coming from a certain place. You can reason it out with them. At least in Chennai, I have found the most understanding. They understand art, they understand it's a low budget film, they understand it's not for the masses. We need to know who's the film for. Okay, I still think that's needed, because you know what happens otherwise, that I've gone to a lot of films that we should be watching without kids, and there'll be kids bloody screaming around. Like, who let these kids in? You shouldn't be in the theater in the first place. So for which I wish there was censor certificate. or certification, if not censorship, where parents know that this film you cannot take your kids to.
Star movies la ஆரம்பிக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி போடுவாங்க parental guidance
Yes.
so that can
So I think that is needed in a country like India because nobody is paying attention.
What exactly happened in the Kandasamy issue ஒன்று இருந்தது, you had to personally go through you had a situation there, so what
Yeah, the situation was very simple. It's because I was interviewing him, so he considered me a friend, you know. I was reviewing it, but I was doing my job, but he didn't get the point that I was just doing my job. And I can see, in hindsight, I can see why he didn't see it, because if I can say it's bad, he probably thinks you should have just said it's bad. Why would you make fun of it? Why did you make everyone laugh about it? Like, because that's my style. It's not like, so he can always say, no, you got sadistic pleasure of ridiculing my film and making it the butt of all jokes. But it's not just Kandaswamy, that's how I reviewed most films.
So
like I've reviewed 1977 or padam irundhathu. I wrote about Sarath Kumar's man boobs. I still feel very bad about it because I wrote it as for fun, because you go watch that film, full clean shaven chest, tattoos, painted boobs and all were there. So I wrote it in my review. So Sarath Kumar sir apparently met somebody on the flight, some colleague in the Hindu, and he said, அது படித்தேன், அது படம் நல்லா இல்லை, அது சரி, அதெல்லாம் ஓகே, ஆனால் the man boobs. So he felt very bad about that, you know. So that I can see why it is a personal thing, because it's a comment about his body. And for his age, he's pretty fit, and I can't say that about myself. Okay. So I can see that point. That is perfectly valid. I try to stay away from the personal comments, but unintentionally sometimes you do slip up and write something that might hurt the sentiments of people. With Kandaswamy there was no such thing. It was a purely, I'm not the only guy who gave it a bad review. Everybody who saw it gave it a bad review. There were 20-30 bad reviews on the net.
These are the things that if Tamil cinema gives up, there's definitely scope for progression, scope for improvement, you know. Or hero glorification or representation of women. What are like these things that, dude, it's high time we let them go.
See, I'll tell you, I think we have to look back at what KB sir did. He said that I'm not going to work with stars. So if I'm not going to work with stars, I'm going to create stars. If I'm going to create stars, then my script should be strong. If my script should be strong, my women should be stronger. So he just wrote films with stronger women characters, and suddenly, boom, whole bunch of actors came out of nowhere. I think Tamil cinema needs to do that. And with Vijay Sethupathi, I think that's what's happened. Here's a guy who's like, I'll do all kinds of films. If I have to do 8 films a year, I'll do 8 films a year to survive. And this is what I was hoping Vikram was doing earlier in his earlier days, when he was on a roll before he started doing Maja and everything. He got into a thing where he was trying to make films bigger than the other. So maybe that's where it went wrong. But again, it's all in hindsight. Maybe for that time that was the best strategy. For this time you need to be like a Vijay Sethupathi. But I'm glad that there are people who are still doing. I'm personally more disappointed with someone like Surya, who seems like pretty smart and who's only doing films bigger than the other. How he came into the limelight was by selection of intelligent films. So why do you look at it as like, I only need to make intelligent films at the beginning of my career, or meaningful films, and after that I can just do pop entertainment.
So content மூலமா reach ஆயிட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் you get superimposed
that never happens, so because it's a trap. It's an image trap. It's like, oh, my fans ஒத்துக்க மாட்டாங்க, fans agree பண்ண மாட்டாங்க. It's like please get over yourself. You're not God. You need to be someone like Shah Rukh Khan to understand this, that you like, imagine Shah Rukh Khan, he's the biggest star in India, okay, he's got more fans than probably anyone else. A Shah Rukh Khan today has the guts to go out and make a film which tells the fan to be anything but a fan. Do you think any of these guys will have the courage or security to actually go and say, do this? Barring Ajit, I haven't seen anyone else who's saying, please guys, don't be my fans, go do your own work. I don't want to you guys to waste your time and money in picking idiotic fights on Twitter. Don't you want to make a living? I don't see many stars doing that because they are happy. They'll want this fan base. So because they want this fan base, they are doing a certain kind of cinema. The more secure they become about themselves, they need to be truly liberated, like a Shah Rukh Khan, to say that I can make a fan. For Yash Raj films, I can make it. I can make a film where I'm saying, fuck you fans. That is true enlightenment. That is true liberation. I don't think any superstar down south has got it yet.
somebody like Ram Gopal Verma வேற லெவல்ல இருந்துட்டு அப்படியே வந்து இப்போ இஸ் வாஸ் மாதிரி ஒரு very genuine consumer of filmsல அவர்லாம் ரொம்ப iconic importantaன
I'll tell you, I think he's coming from a good place of a lot of passion, and when I was a journalist I was also asking him, sir, why did you do this, like Company and Satya and all, like really good films, what happened, Rangila, like, and he says that the amount of time I took in planning or writing a Satya or a Shiva or a Rangila is exactly the same amount of time and effort and passion that I've taken making any of these films. So I don't know what went wrong. I have no idea. Whatever passion I had, I still have. Whatever effort I used to do, I still do. I said, back then you were working with people like Jaideep Sani, Saurabh Shukla, Anurag Kashyap. Today, we don't know who you're working with. You're working with film students. You're working with whoever is like willing to act in your films.
Shortest of the shots.
Yeah, so that could be the thing. But he told me another interesting thing. He's saying films, no? Like, the more time you spend with them, you can take them in 200 different places. It's like a car, and like you can like take them wherever you want to go. But if you have only 3 days, you decide in 3 days this is what I can do, and you make the thing 3 days because I want to make 1 million films. So he's on that trip where he wants to make 1 million films, good, bad, ugly, all kinds, because he feels that he has to crap out everything, whatever he wants to take a dump. So you can't argue with somebody like that because that's their way of life. I can only hope that in the process of crapping out everything that he feels like, he's somehow able to regain the form and the class that he had, or somehow able to find the right kind of collaborators like Jaideep Sani, Saurabh Shukla, Anurag Kashyap.
Who is making Sarkar 3 with Amitabh again.
Yeah. So I hope he's able to find the right kind of thing.
So fully frank with Sudhish Kamath, enna or fully filmy is a movie merchandise destination. So we make it a point to celebrate cinema because it not only gives us sales, it also gives us pleasure.
Yes.
So much of happiness and joy. So what has been the most filmiest event in your life? Romba filmy
all my life has been filmy. Everything about my life has been filming. I made my first film because I was in love with a girl and I wanted to tell the girl I love you. So I made a movie. Then the second film that I made, Good Night, Good Morning, I made about a phone conversation, right? I actually had a long distance relationship with a girl I've never met over a phone. Over a phone call for about 4 months.
Wow.
She was studying law in Jodhpur and I was in Chennai. For those 4 months, we were actually hooked on the phone. She would tell me, you can only hang up if you don't hear me for 15 seconds. That means I've gone off to sleep. Okay, it used to be like that. It's because I have lived that life that I could make a film like Good Night, Good Morning, because I've got that kind of experience to know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's because after my breakup, I met this mysterious girl at a film festival in Goa who reminded me of all the different women in his life. I said, shit, I could make a movie about this. That's true. The probable mistake that I made was, instead of tapping into my life, I went to other filmmakers and I said, I don't want it to get monotonous and redundant. So let's explore the boy meets girl thing in different genres. When you go out of the ordinary, when you go out of the routine, you meet characters, you meet people, you live a bunch of experiences which you otherwise wouldn't have got a chance to. You see places which you would have never got a chance if you were in a daily job of 9 to 5. So I try to break from that routine and the mundane, which is why I go on road trips, which is why I take the bike things. Because the more richer your life is, the more richer your scripts.
So the biking thing is another different side of you where you keep tweeting about it. Romba interesting ah irukku. So next year by March we are doing Nepal, Bhutan, if you want to join.
Oh, super.
And this is for you, Mr. Sudhish Kamath. Thank you so much for your time. Okay.
I love the stuff which you guys do. I bought the Kabali t-shirt from you. This is Tyler Durden. You can never be like him. Stop trying. Very cool. Fight Club.
Yep.
Lovely. Okay, what is this? I love red and black, so that is Tarantino.
So that's a t-shirt which quotes saying.
Oh, it's one of my favorite quotes actually. Yes. It's one of my favorite quotes. I didn't go to films. I didn't go to film school. I went to films.
Which you've also been doing it, and
Yeah. I wish not everybody is as talented as Tarantino. So I do hope that some people do go to film school.
So sadly,
I love this. This is awesome.
So you should wear it sometime and then.
I will definitely wear it.
Tweet it as well.
I will. This I'll definitely wear.
Correct.
In fact, I'm giving a lecture at IIM.
Okay.
I'll wear this. I am Udaipur,
சூப்பர்.
so I wear this in bro.
ப்ராப்ளி உங்கள் அடுத்த படத்தோட ஸ்டோரி போர்ட்லாம் இதுக்கு போனால் நல்லாயிருக்கும். இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் இஸ் வெல்த்.
Okay, I'm sorry.
பவர் ஆஃப் பீங் அ பேச்சுலர் பிரதர், இவ்வளோ கரெக்டாக படிக்கிறீங்க. யா
Wake up, kick ass, repeat.
யா
Oh, super. Rocky.
Yep, Rocky Balbo. Thank you so much for your time. And Fully Filmy YouTube channel வந்து ஒரு எக்ஸ்பான்ஷன் மோட் மட்டும் கிடையாது. Where we really wanted to generate content with regard to cinema and உங்களை இன்டர்வியூ பண்ணலன்னா then what's the
Thank you.
Not for the heck of it, we really wanted to interview you. Thank you so much for your time.
Abhishek.
Yeah, all the very best.
Total pleasure.
Yeah, for more videos, please watch Fully Filmy. Thank you.
Yes, and hit that subscribe button and all that things I see after every interview.
Thank you so much.